How do I get this off my phone though? Hold on. If God told you, if I will, would you get on your knees? Oh, I might need to turn my Bluetooth off. Hold on. If he answered your prayers, would you share his life? Or choose to hide? Or would you stay? Okay, y'all. So I'm hopping on today. One, because I have a free reading to give away to somebody because one of my clients purchased a reading for me to just donate to somebody. So I'll be selecting somebody for that a little bit later. But I also wanted to give you, hey Nate, give you guys an update on a couple things. Right now, I think I only have about 10 more of the pre-order decks to refund. And I think one more person this week to refund because I'm doing 3 each week. So just bear with me. I promise you I'm getting you your money back. I'm not going to take from you guys ever in any instance. So those are on their way back to y'all. So I just wanted to, give you guys an update on that because I had a couple people email me today. So yeah, those are coming back. Just wanted to let y'all know that. Hey, Callie. Um, Sorry, my brain is moving at its own pace today. Um, there was something else I wanted to say. I have gotten a lot of intakes for Soul School. I think right now I'm at like 68 or 66 or something like that, like around there. And so I've been going through those. AJ. I've been going through those in these last couple of weeks. And so in these next I don't know if it's going to be this week, but probably next week we'll start reaching out to people for consultations. We haven't really figured out the structure yet, whether or not it's going to be like a group consultation or if it's going to be like separate individual things. I do have 3 other people who are helping me with this. So that should be coming pretty soon, which I'm excited about because a lot of you guys have some amazing answers. I can't wait to really dive into it. I've just been working on the spiritual school in these last couple of weeks. I'm glad that Mercury retrograde is over because now like my brain can actually function, which is good. Um, and so I've been able to get a lot done. With just organizing things. I think the app is almost pretty much done. And I think once I get the app done, I probably will go ahead and dissolve Patreon altogether, which is where I usually do like my astrology of the week and stuff like that. Like I think I want it all to move to the app that I created. And so there will be a guest section even if you're not in the school, there is a guest section because I will be hosting like live sessions there. Like if there's like a full moon or there's something like that, like I'll be hosting some more live sessions on the app. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about launching the app because it's just so beautiful. It's so much that went into that. Man, you and me both. I can finally breathe and answer those questions for your school. Yeah, I feel like these last couple of this is not what I wanted to be playing. Hold on. I feel like hold on. Even though I like this, but how do I? Anyways, um, yeah, I feel like this retrograde was something else, and we still have Uranus and Jupiter in retrograde right now too. I think Jupiter is in Cancer and Uranus is in Taurus. I'm happy we have Uranus and Taurus retrograde though, because I think that balances out some of this Sagittarius ass energy that's very much so expand right now quickly. Um, quickly because of the fire. But I'm glad to be out of retrograde though, because I feel like I really could not think. And I was like restructuring the way that I communicate internally, which was affecting how I communicate externally. And I was trying to put together like the lesson plans and stuff like that. And it was not giving what it was supposed to give. But I did get a lot of stuff done, like with the welcome packet, and I got the app done. Like I got like a little mundane things that I need to get done on the side. I was able to get done. Hey, Kenny. So that was good. Like I'm glad that I kept pushing myself and going through the motions. Hey, Deja. Um, but I'm glad that I pushed myself and kept going through the motions, because for a second there I was about to give up. But I was just like, you know what? It's not in alignment. And anytime you have to force something, it's just not the right time for you to do it. And so you just kind of have to do what you can at that moment and just move accordingly. And so that's what I did. And I got a lot done within that. I met with the people who are going to be helping me. And we're working right now, like I said, with going through the applications, and about to reach out to you guys about the consultations, for those of y'all who are interested. I am offering 4 scholarships, but there are a lot of people reaching out specifically for the scholarship. So yeah, I don't necessarily even know if it'll be 4 though, because it depends on how many people that I take. Um, but I'm excited though about this, because I think this is something that we've probably never seen before. Like even when I think about like the school that I went to, like the spiritual school that I went to, and then there's another one that's in England or whatever, where you can actually go into the school. Like it's like a huge like castle looking place. But none of them really offer the same stuff that I'm offering. So I'm excited to see what this becomes. And I'm also thinking about, instead of doing 3 days a week, I'm thinking about breaking it down to 2, just because I'm trying to make sure it's in alignment with what I have energy for. And y'all know me, I burn out about 14 weeks, and I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. So I need to make sure that's in balance with what I can do and I have the capacity to do. So I'd rather just to start smaller, and then if we need to add another day, we can. Hey, Anissa. Um, so yeah, right now I've gone through all the applications, and I think it's about 60, 66, 68, something like that. Um, but now I'm just waiting for my team to go to the apps, and we're gonna have a conversation this week about when we're reaching out to you guys. Hey, Nature Child. So I'm excited. Like a lot of things are moving. I think every time that I sit down with myself, I'm getting downloads, and I'm realizing that this has to be something that has a loose structure. Like there's still going to be an informational portion of it, but I think a lot of it needs to be taught from presence, and not from curriculum, because I think that's such a mind thing. And your presence, your field holds the information. And I think the best conversations I've had, or the best teaching moments that I've had, have been when I'm on live and I'm just teaching from presence. Like we're having a conversation, or somebody says something and I start talking about something. So there's going to be like a loose structure. Like there's going to be topics that we're going to be covering in like a pathway that we're moving through. But yeah, I'm excited about that. And then I think the second class of the week, one of them is going to be energy work. And the other one, like, sense and energy, stuff like that. But then the other, that it's going to rotate every 2 weeks. You'll have a different class for the second class. And then the second part is the healing, right? Because I've just incorporated within my spiritual mentorship a new way of like scanning the body and going into the tension and being able to see what memories come up and things like that. And so that has worked really, really well at getting people to remember the things that they have forgotten. And so it's going to be like a place for us to be vulnerable, for us to be open. Hey, Arya. For us to be vulnerable and open, and us to connect with each other, and also understand that everything is coming from the inside. So I'm going to be teaching some really important things. And I'm just excited to deliver it to y'all, because I've been working really hard on these last couple of months. And it's just like I'm just always, I feel like I'm channeling or connecting, and yeah. So I'm excited about that. Now, I did have somebody I did have somebody donate a service, and it's the Oversoul Mission service. So this is something that I'm offering until next week. This is a Black Friday special situation, and so I want to tell y'all what it is before I give away whichever one I'm gonna give away. But this one is under the Oversoul Design readings. It's $66, and it's It's an in-depth session exploring what your oversoul mission is, meaning like why you decided to embody. And it's basically I'm going to give you what you came here to do. We'll look at the four different energies that kind of make that energy up. We'll look at environment. We'll look at what you need to master, what you need to walk away from, and some of the shadow aspects of that. So that reading is going to be close to, I would say, like 45 minutes to an hour. And so somebody purchased one just for me to give away on live. So I'll be doing that a little bit later. But besides that, do y'all have any questions? Do y'all want to do any readings today? Like, what's the vibe? Ooh, this is not the right deck, but I love her. This is my own personal deck. That lady, she's so. And I've been like collecting movies and collecting like songs and stuff for us to explore. And even with school is we're gonna have projects and stuff like that, but it's gonna be like not like school, like not like school for real, for real. Like I think these things are really fun things to explore, like from the lens of energy. Hey Jackie. So I'm really excited about that. Like I thought about getting on live and like doing some like teasers or stuff like that, but I don't know. I've been kind of drained lately. I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like this retrograde, like November kicked my ass. Like November was not kind to me. Like it turned me every way but loose. And so that's why I haven't really been on here like this. Like I've been going live like once a week, but I feel like it was really a time for me to turn inwards and like focus on what I needed in these last couple of weeks. And with me trying to prioritize getting the school together, it just been really hard. I feel like so. Oh, hold on, real quick, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get something for somebody real quick. Me too. I cried a lot. Yeah, I think I actually probably should have cried more. Like yesterday, I went to the movies and I watched. It was a movie called Eternity, and Eternity was basically about. It's supposed to be like a rom com where this girl passed away, and her not only is her second husband there, but her first husband who died when they were younger was there as well. And she had to decide like who she was going to live with, who she was going to spend eternity with. And hold on, let me send her this real quick because y'all know I can't fucking multitask. Um, and it was a really funny movie. Like it was good. Like I loved it. But when I was leaving the movies, I felt like I was about to cry, and I was like, "What is wrong with you?" Like I feel like I've been like very sensitive lately, but I realized this morning it's because of um sorry, it's because of Jupiter being in Cancer. Like that is such a moody energy, and it's in retrograde too. And so we're looking at our belonging and our worth and like where we get our self-worth from. And like I think Cancer is very much so an energy that struggles to belong, and it people pleases, and it prioritizes other people's needs in front of his own, like all of the things. But it's also like a very, very emotional energy, meaning like it feels everything. And so I'm sitting there with my friend, and I'm like leaving the theater, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I feel like I realized like I need to stop smoking again, because I feel like the moment that I start smoking, like I used to smoke as like a means for me to cope when I was younger. Meaning like I've been smoking since I was like 16, and it was just like it was a way for me to cope when I was going through the shit that I was going through. And so when I started smoking again, I think that my field recognizes that as me being in survival mode. And I feel like a lot of shit just was coming up, or a lot of shit was just happening. And so I'm in the I also think that there was something like deeper that I needed to look at that I felt coming up, and I just didn't feel like I could handle it by myself or whatever. So that had happened. So I haven't been smoking, which is just like, why? Same until I got sick from smoking. Yeah, so I was just like, I was about to cry yesterday, and I just came home, and it's like little random tears will drop, but I'm like not full on crying. And so I'm just like, I don't know what's happening to me, but I don't have time for it. And so I just laid, like I came home, I was probably home by like 6:30, and I just was like laying in the bed, listening to frequencies, and I just was laying there, and I was just like, okay, something's going on, but what it is, I don't think we're gonna figure it out today. So I just kind of went on about it. But something cool happened to me though the other day. Like, so I had my cousin come through. My cousin was trying to tell me to check on his sister and his mama, because his mama is having some health issues. So is his sister or whatever. And I kept putting it off because it's like I'm struggling myself right now. I just can't. I just couldn't at the moment. And so I went to sleep and I had a dream about her. I had a dream about her. And this is probably like the third or fourth time that I've actually dreamed for somebody else. The next day I woke up, I was brushing my teeth. Like I'm talking about, I just woke up. She calls me and I was like, okay, you got to pick up the phone today. Cause sometimes I'll be picking up my phone. And so I was like, okay, I got to pick up my phone today. I talked to her. I get on the phone with her. I talked to her for about 6 hours, but by the time she called me and the time that I had the dream, I forgot about the dream. And so I get on the phone with her. And we talking, and her brother comes through to try to tell me like what message to give her or whatever. And as I'm giving her the message from her brother, I'm like, oh, wait, I dreamed about you yesterday. And I told her what the dream was, and it literally perfectly fits in to what she's going through in life. And the dream didn't make sense because the people in the dream is like, they don't go together. Meaning like my uncle was there, which is her dad. She was there, which is good. I was there. I think her brother was there. But the dude who was her boyfriend was somebody I went to college with. Didn't make sense, but when I went back to the context of the dream, I was like, oh, this is exactly what I was shown last night in the dream. And the dream was so clear. Like it was so clear. Even when it came back up the second time, I remember every single detail because it was like I was on the outside looking in. And then one of the guys looked at me and it's like somebody like turned my character on or some shit. But it was interesting because I know that I'm a dream seer, right? But it just doesn't come all the time because my intuition is not reliable. Not intuition, but like, yeah, intuition. Because intuition is like, sometimes it's a vision, sometimes it's a gut feeling, sometimes it's a dream, sometimes it's a whatever. Because I have an open spleen, it could come in any way, And so when it's dreams, a lot of times when it's dreams, it's like really deep. But it was crazy though, because it gave me the imagery to explain what she was experiencing in her day-to-day life. And then when I gave her the dream and explained how I felt about the dream, it was perfect. It was perfect. And I was like, I want more of that. Like, I feel like my gifts, I just love my gifts so much. And so I said, oh my gosh, I wish I could just dream for everybody because then it would just help. But sometimes I do that before a session. I have a dream and I don't understand the dream. And then I'll talk to a client and they'll tell me a dream they had. And it was like, I was watching a dream. It's fucking weird. But anyways, so that was exciting though, because I don't know. I just really love that. Same, very drained. Me too, girl. My dreams have been very emotional as well. I've also been crying a lot. Oh no. I wish I could get a cry up though, for real. Not for real. A lot of messages. Yeah, but I think too because Mercury stationed back direct, we've been getting a lot more synchronicities, a lot more quick downloads. And Mercury for me is trying Uranus and Jupiter, which are both in retrograde, but Uranus is in Taurus, Jupiter is in Cancer. And I have 3 Taurus placements, and then Cancer is in my 10th house. And so I've been getting a lot of synchronicities, a lot of quick downloads. Like my gifts have been stronger. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like even when I'm like reading through y'all's intakes, I can feel the energy behind what y'all are saying. And it feels way clearer than it's ever been. Like earlier I was going through one of them and the person had put that they had ADHD, but later on, like I had started like writing like my interpretation of what I was reading. I was like, I don't know what about that energy feels like it collapsed timelines. Like it feels very direct. It feels very clear. It feels very whatever. And then I get to the bottom of the page and she was like, oh, I'm on the spectrum. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense because your energy feels like very, like, I don't know, something very sure about that energy. Like I don't know how else to explain that, So I don't know. I've kind of been liking where my gifts are right now, which is good shit for me. Also so sad. I understand. I need help to unlock why I'm so upset with death. And yes, you might be a death doula, baby, or you might be a shadow walker. A lot of us don't realize that we're here to help people during transitions. And we talk a lot about birth doulas, but we don't talk about death doulas. You know, we don't talk about people who are meant to help people to transition a lot of the dark psyche things, like a lot of the more um, complex sides of life. And that's why they end up living a life full of trauma and where they have to navigate a lot and go through a lot. And it's because you were supposed to be somebody who helps people with endings. And so you might have an obsidian flame. You might have you could be a threshold keeper as well. You might have a seraphim flame, which are all coming back to the top right now. A lot of us Black and Indigenous people have this flame that's been hidden for the last 1,000 years. I feel you on that. I'm a Cancer moon. It's very emotional. Yeah, I'm a Scorpio moon. And so this whole Scorpio season with everything that's been transiting Scorpio, Venus was in Scorpio, fucking everything has been in the Scorpio. And the Scorpio moon, the Scorpio full or new moon. Yeah, the Scorpio new moon was in the 28th degree. And my moon sign is in the 28th degree. So it hit me like an activation point. But I do have to say this though. I am so blessed because in this last month, although it just has been like me stuck in the mud, I've learned so much about myself. Like I've realized so much about some of my relationships, some deeper things that I think I would not have ventured that deep had it not been the time that we was in, and me kind of being forced to sit down or slow down. You know, like I wouldn't have realized that. And also like my value, like with what's been happening with Jupiter in Cancer and retrograde, baby, I've been feeling that. I've been feeling that a lot. And so untangling my value from money and external things. And I made a video about that today because I think that to me, it feels like this is the last piece of something. Although you could have showed me in other ways. It's really been helpful though, because I think that I've been able to see myself in a different light in real life. And through me seeing myself in a different light, when I'm talking to people within my family who still hold the same bloodline as me, meaning we're clearing the same ancestral trauma. So we have a lot in common, right? And when I'm talking to them, the way that I approach them now is so much different. And I think I've been speaking life into people in a way, which I mean, I think I always done that, but it's been landing in a different way. It's like almost like I'm channeling while I'm doing it. But like channeling from my heart, like I feel like I have more access to my heart right now. Which period needed that. But I've been doing a lot of heart clearing this month, so I guess that makes sense. But I've just been empowering the women in my family to like understand that they worth don't come from what they have or what they do or you going back to school or anything like that. Like it comes from who you are. And like me really embodying that, like it's been changing a lot for me. You know, like it's hard to navigate because I think it's really hard when you don't have proof. You don't have proof of the things that you're saying, but you know, but that's been good though for me. Like I honestly think that was really good for me. And I think that I also have in these last couple of weeks, I decided to let people in. And I realized that when people say certain things are a choice, certain things are a choice. Not trusting in relationships because of your trauma, that is a choice. Because I did not realize what you retract, girl. Let me see. But that's a choice. So in these last couple of weeks, because I've been going through my relationships and I've been realizing that, you know, I was still energetically closed off and I still wasn't letting people in. I literally had a moment where I was sitting in meditation and I was like, no, let this person be your friend. Why have you not let them be your friend? Like you could move all of these ways because you're trying to protect yourself from something, or you could just stop doing all of that and wait for something to happen and then do all of that shit. And it's like almost like my body relaxed. And then the next day, like I needed help from my family for something, and I reached out to them, you know. And I've never do that because I'm like the person who is hyper independent. You know, I'm afraid that people are going to disappoint me, so I won't ask for help. I've tied my work to how little I need, like all of those things. And so the way that I've been moving in these last couple of this last month has been crazy for me because I've never allowed myself to be this person who trusts other people. Like never. And I told you I have a Scorpio moon, trust issues, baby. That's the whole brand, you know? And so I really just decided like, no, you could just decide to trust them and until they prove you otherwise. Like you could literally just stop what you're doing, Stop trying to separate yourself. Stop trying to whatever. Stop making every excuse not to be somebody's. Like, just stop all of it and just try. And it's like something clicked in my head, like something clicked in my head. And it's changed everything. I didn't realize how much of how pessimistic I've been in these last couple of years. Or just, I ain't gonna say couple of years, but I'm so terrified of people betraying me that I just won't allow people close to me for real, for real. And it's like, I know that I'm saying that intellectually, but like I've been able to see it in this last month, like how that shows up in my relationships. Like my cousin called me the other day, and I haven't talked. My cousin's been my ace boom coon since we was kids. Like I'm damn near like a mama figure to her. Like anything she's ever needed in life, she never had to worry about it. She always came to live with me. Like that's been, you know. But in these last couple of years, I've been pushing her away because I think that I didn't realize how much my papa's and my cousin's death being like 3 months apart affected me. Because I think it made me realize that people that I love, death don't got no much motherfucking age. My cousin Kim was 30. We literally had just went to her wedding. She just had her birthday, then she fucking died. And I think that I was afraid of that feeling again. And so I started pushing away my cousin and making every excuse for why I needed to push her away and just all of these things. And she called me the other day, and I was like in that place where I had decided that I was going to trust people. And she just so happened to call me, and we were on the phone and we just cried together. Like we literally just cried. And I was just like, she was just like, I missed you so much. And I'm like, bro, I missed you too. I'm sorry that I'm being such a bitch, but I'm just trying to protect myself. But I don't need to protect myself from people that I know that are truly there for me, So yeah. And now y'all about to make me cry on the internet, and I don't like that. Conversations with the women around me about worth across the board. Yes, period. Same here. LMAO, I was just saying that I had a whole epiphany about self-respect and what I can no longer tolerate regardless of who or what it is. It feels like remembrance, and I've been having similar things. Yeah, so I will say the dark feminine energy with the Scorpio moon, just Scorpio being in Venus, that's probably what it is. There has been a dark feminine energy that's coming through. And when I say dark, I don't want y'all to think spooky. I mean, like, don't take bullshit. Like, very sure of herself, very much so big on boundaries, self-respect, like, think boss bitch type of energy that has been coming through for me. She ain't been playing about me, and she ain't been wanting me to play about me either. And so it's obviously my higher self, because it's funny in the same, like the energy is funny in the same way that I am. Like my higher self actually is a hoot. Like if you ever talk to her, she's a hoot. She acts just like me, but just like more sure, I guess. But I've realized in the conversation that I've had with women is that a lot of women are experiencing this right now. And I'm like, period. I love that, because we're in the Scorpio side, the water side, the deep waters of Venus, and Venus is very much so that girl, and it's about the beauty of life and stuff like that. But when you get into that water side, or when you get into a water sign and Venus, it's about depth. It's about understanding your worth, because Taurus is that internal side, and Taurus is very much so self-love, and so that's really cool that other people are experiencing that. Yeah, I've been feeling extra Scorpio rising, divine feminine energy, very cutthroat. Yes, same here. I'm a Scorpio moon in Venus. Oh, period. I love that. So you just had some transit. I mean, you just had some big things happen for you, Kenny. What has your month been like? Out of curiosity. Gee, lucky you. I've been boo-hooing. How has life been treating you today, Miss Red? Today has been good. I think I haven't been smoking in these last 2 days, and that's good, because I don't think that I've been clear in 2 months. Like I think that I've been getting a lot of messages and downloads, because I get that when I'm, up there, because I set my intentions and stuff when I'm up there. But I also noticed that some of my dreams started going back to me getting in fights, or like me being triggered, or like running or whatever. And I'm like, oh no, that has to be the ganja. So I had to lay up off of that real quick, because I wasn't smoking for like 9 months, and I feel like I was snowballing, like I was going down the hill fast. But when I hit Libra season, that's when you hit the feminine season, which means everything turns inwards. I think I just got a little scared, because that's when you closest to your unconscious, closest to the things you don't want to see. you know? And I think a part of me sometimes I fear that I'm getting too far away from people in general. And what I mean by that is like, my journey happened fast. Within the last 3 years, I've been 17,000 different people, I feel like. And as I continue to grow and expand, I am seeing people within my family dynamic moving with me. But sometimes I fear that I'm just going to get too far ahead of people and that I'm going to be alone, which is a fear of mine any fucking way. And so that don't fucking help. And so I think I was just trying to slow myself down a little bit. Um, but fuck all that. It's throwing me off of what I need to do. So I had to go ahead and put a pause on that. Do you think smoking offsets mugworts tea? What do you mean by offsets mugworts tea? What do you mean by that? Because last week when I did a ritual, I drank mugworts tea and I smoked and I went to sleep and I dreamed. So if that's what your question was, I hope that I answered that. Do you find your dreams more when you're not smoking? I always find that. Yeah, because when you smoke too close to when you're about to go to sleep, you're more than likely not gonna dream, and it's because you get too in that deep sleep too fast. And I think it's like the level of consciousness, like you're not as conscious as you would be if you hadn't smoked. But for me specifically, because I have been focused on my dreams for so many years, it don't matter. I could be drunk, I could be smoked, I could be whatever. Now, I will say if I don't set my intention before I go to sleep and I've been smoking, it's gonna point you downwards for sure. It's gonna point you down. So you need to very much so set your intentions before you go to sleep. But no, I can dream in any state. You are the my gifts scare me. I'll be like, huh? Don't be scared of you though, because if you're scared of your gifts, you're scared of you. You know? And that's one thing I had to learn. And like nothing really can hurt me. Are you a Taurus sun like me? I am a Taurus sun. I am a Taurus sun. Off topic question. What deodorant do you wear? Dr. Bronner's Rose Vanilla, I think it's called. It's it don't have aluminum in it. Hold on. Yeah, no, it's Rose and Milk. Sorry, it's not Dr. Bronner's, Dr. Teal's, because maybe I knew it was a doctor. It's Dr. Teal's aluminum free deodorant. It has magnesium, rose, and milk in it. But they also have a lavender and vanilla one as well. But I use the rose and milk because I'm Venus energy. And so everything that I do typically has to do with rose. Like even when I'm using oils, I use rose oil. Just because I embody my own essence. So yeah, that's what I use. Um the spectrum is autism, the autism spectrum or neurodivergent. Yeah. My intuition told me this kept My intuition told me this kept hearing death doula. I helped my mother through her death process and was there till her last breath. Okay, I got you. The fact that you just mentioned death doula and I heard this term earlier today for the first time. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that the shit that you go through, the reason why you're going through all of these traumatic things is so that you learn how to navigate them. We think that that shit is punishment. It's not. A show initiation. Like literally, you have to go first for whatever it is that you came here to do. And so for me, especially people who got Scorpio energy, especially in high placements, you're gonna go through some shit, emotionally intense shit. um but yeah, like all of the shit that I've been through in my life made me who I am. Like I was just talking to my cousin about this because me and my cousin, we've been through a lot. And I guess I talk about it so much, but I only talk about it in the context of like my immediate family. And this is like my second cousin, but I spent so much time with them growing up. And I guess I've kind of just shut off some of those things. And so we were just talking about life and talking about the shit that we've been through and the shit that we had to experience that felt normal to us, like seeing like addicts and like fucking sexual abuse and like all kind of shit. And we was talking about it, but I was telling her, like, that shit gave us gifts that other people don't have. Like, we can read people. We can know when it's time for us to fucking duck or get the fuck on. Like, we not asking no questions. One person running, we not asking no questions. We get the fuck on. Like, and even the way that I read energy that can come through text message. It can come, like, anybody, any energy, I could read it. And I think that we think that that's punishment, and it's not. It's initiation, because you don't get grace. Like, grace, innocence, compassion, self-respect, those are high vibrational frequencies. And I think something like grace and compassion, you can't get to grace and compassion if you ain't been through no shit in your life. Having grace for people, being able to put yourself in other people's shoes, that shit comes from you going through some shit. It don't come like people, and I think that'd be the disconnect between us and our white counterparts, right? Is that a lot of them were privileged in a way that we were not privileged. And so a lot of them have never had the experiences that we have. And that's why they get down to $100,000, they be ready to off themselves. But we get down to $100,000. I mean, we get $100,000, we're ready to flip that shit. It's just a different thing that you get from being at the bottom, like, and like we talked about, like, how there's just certain stuff that it just was normal to us, and we had to navigate, and we probably shouldn't have to navigate, or probably shouldn't have to hold, but we did, and it just made us better. If we erase any of that shit, we erase ourselves. And I think that my family is as flawed and as toxic and as whatever the fuck we are. Some of the women in my family, like, the way that they look at life, the way that they show up for each other, the way that we just navigate things, and even just the way that we think about things from such a deep level, like the depth that we have is like shit you can't get that shit in a book. Like, you can't get that shit in a book. And so we think that shit is our punishment, and it's not. It's really you being forged in the fire. We like diamonds. Diamonds form underneath pressure. And it's still a beautiful gem. Like, I think that the wisdom that we get from the shit that we've been through, like, that's where our value comes from. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I know that was a little bit of ramble. Hey, Unique. I love this for you. Thank you. Yes, me too. That Scorpio. Oh yeah, the dark feminine is firm for sure. Do you? Oh, I watched your video and did the journal prompt. Yes, enough is enough. You're so on point. Okay, good. Oh shit, I done got 35 messages since then, baby. Okay, let me go. That's interesting, because the tree be having some wild dreams and visions. I relate. Yeah, I think I could dream on anything. I could dream in any state just because I'm a dreamer. Like, I will say I have not astral projected in a long time, which I'm used to astral projecting, but I haven't astral projected in a long time. I miss you. Come back. Um, I had an encounter this week that definitely had me thinking, damn, am I too far gone? It'd be like that sometimes. Yeah. You ever had anxiety in your face before? No, but if you got it in your face, you're probably thinking too much. You need to slow down. Anytime you have anxiety, people don't realize that. And the reason why all of us in America have anxiety is because we're always rushing. You just need to slow down. Anxiety comes from you not being rooted in your own timing, and you amplifying the urgencies of other people. And society tells you got to get somewhere fast. And so most of us don't understand slow mastery. And so anxiety comes from you not slowing the fuck down and being on your own rhythm. And so you just need to slow down a little bit. Like, even when you get up out the bed in the morning, don't immediately reach for your phone. Like, sit there for a second, calibrate, let your eyes adjust, and then get up and move slow. Don't move fast like you got somewhere to go. So that if that means you got to get up a little earlier, do that. Even when it comes to you leaving your house, if you know you got to be somewhere by 5, you need to have it planned out what time you need to leave. Like me, I always put in my phone how long it's going to take me to get to that place. And then I put an hour in advance, and I'm leaving my house probably 45 minutes before that, because LA, you just don't fucking know. But I was talking to my friend yesterday, and I picked her up, and our movie was at 3:50 yesterday. We got there at like 3:10. And I was like, oh, damn, sorry, friend. And she was like, you know what? I actually like that we did this slower. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm early to almost everything just because I don't want to rush. I don't want to, like, I got to move at my own pace. Like, I hate when I'm rushing, because I'll spend the whole time rushing, thinking I'm about to be late somewhere. I get to my friend's house and they're not even ready. And that pisses me off. Now I'm pissed because I done did all this. I'm running, I'm racing one eyebrow up here, the other one down here, and you ain't even rushing, you know? So I think we just need to learn to slow down a little bit. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Peace. Okay, that's what it is. Smoke too close to going to sleep. Yeah, you want to put at least 6 hours. Put at least 6 hours before you go to sleep. But again, like if you're a person who dreams and focuses on dreaming, and your body is used to dreaming, it has the expectation that you're gonna dream. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna dream anyway. Hey, what's your real name? It's Taja. Hey, Junior. That was the first time something like that happened to me, but Tree definitely makes me more connected. It makes me more connected too as well. Like I think I get a lot more downloads. Scorpio in the 12th house. Ooh, girl. That means your secret enemies are around your depth and your wisdom. I was physically assaulted by my ex-boyfriend last year, and this was the clearest initiation I've ever had. I'm sorry to hear that, babe. Yes, I'm a Scorpio moon, Taurus sun, Libra rising. Girl, you are me at this point. But no, that's my big three too. Taurus sun, Scorpio moon, Libra rising. Yes, girl. Hey, twin. How long before bed would you recommend? 6 hours. I love this song. I went to a poetry night here in LA, and this person performed, and she makes like conscious music. T. This is a spell, and so is so. This is a spell. Anywho, how long? Oh, my friend told me I was going through a spiritual initiation. Oh yeah, it's. I could see that. I'm horrible. I do that and still don't leave at the time it tells me to. Yeah, you probably have an open spleen, which means you don't have a good awareness of time. And so for me, I always have a alarm clock set. Like if I'm supposed to be somewhere at 5, I know how long it takes me to get to a place and what time I'm supposed to leave the house. And so I set a timer for the time I'm supposed to leave the house, but then I also have to set a timer for the time I'm supposed to start getting ready for me to be ready. Okay. So when you know your shortcomings, learn to work with what and who you are. Me, I always have reminders, I always have timers because I do not have a good awareness of time. I will be in meditation and think that I'm in meditation for 30 minutes, and I will look at the clock and 3 hours have passed. You know, and that's why I also be having to look at the clock while I'm on. The reason why I started going live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time is because YouTube will tell me how long I've been on live, you know, so I can scram when I need to scram. I really like your content. Oh, thanks, baby. Oh, her name, this girl, her name is Amon Europe. And it's spelled like Amon, like Tiana Taylor's ex husband. I need you as a mentor. That we definitely twins. Yeah, I'm actually not doing mentorship anymore, but because I'm about to open a soul school. So if you're interested, you should definitely fill out the intake and apply. Um, I'm excited about it because it's gonna give me a lot more freedom in my because when I was doing mentorship, each session is like 2 hours and I had 9 clients. And so that's like 18 hours a week or 17 hours a week. I don't know that I'm talking to somebody face to face. And that just kind of became a lot. And so with the soul school, it'll give me an opportunity because we're doing healing together. And yes, we'll have kind of themes when it comes to the healing space, but also just like what's coming up for you today. Like the reason why I'm doing it from presence is because I think that the energy around us is constantly moving, and I'm a channel for that energy. Like I feel I only have 2 closed centers in human design out of any of it, so it's like I'm always on the collective emotional spectrum. Like I know exactly what's happening emotionally with the collective, and so um it's going to give me an opportunity to be able to mentor a lot more people at one time. And so that's why I'm doing the soul school. And it is still going to be a personal experience too, because I have priestesses that'll be helping. And I'm so excited for them to step into that role. Yeah, slow down, baby. I'm telling you, it changes everything. When I started moving according to my own speed, it's like I just didn't have anxiety in the way that I had before. Like I would literally be leaving the house and I'm driving and my leg is shaking and my hands are shaking and So I became a little overwhelmed by it, but I'm here to learn how to move on my own rhythm. And so for me, if I got to force it, I just don't. Oh, I did my intake already. Oh, okay. Well, then I already read your intake. We should be reaching out to y'all next week. We love you. Thank you for the education. Oh, I love y'all back. You're welcome, love. How did you find out what centers are closed versus what's not? Oh, you just need your date, time, and location of birth, and then you can just go to either bodygraph.com or humandesign.com and put that information in there, and it'll pull up your chart. It don't tell you how to read it, but it does pull it up. HumeDes.info will give you some information. And I also offer readings as well. I think, are they on sale right now? I don't even know. I have some stuff on sale on my website right now, y'all. I think they the flame lineage readings though. I think tier 2 and tier 3 of the flame lineage readings, those are on sale right now on my website. But that's more of like a high in-depth reading. Like that could easily become too much information. And then I have the Oversoul mission readings as well, underneath Oversoul design readings. But yeah, those are available on my website. And I reconstructed human design to accompany the soul. Accompany is crazy, to take into account the soul, because I think we were using it like a personality tool, and it's really a crystalline intelligence system that's supposed to help us to embody our oversoul. And so if you haven't gotten a human design reading from me or an oversoul design reading from me, I would highly suggest it. It's so much fucking information. I can tell you exactly what you're here to do, what's holding you back, what you're here to contribute, how you experiencing your energy, the environment you need to be in, your strongest sense, how you receive information from the outside, how the energy is moving in your body. Just all of it is important information for you to have. And I also do it for kids as well too, the sacred parent codes. I just did a session for somebody. It was a family. They had one daughter, but it was mom and dad. I look at mom and dad and then how many other kids you have. That's tier 1. But if you want each kid's specific information, then you have to do tier 2, but you'll have to do tier 2 for each kid. But anyways, that was like a 3.5 hour reading, because I try to give y'all as much information as possible. Usually the tier 2 oversoul design readings are about 2.5 hours. The tier 1 is usually an hour and a half, and it's just the whole entire time I'm just hitting y'all with what you need to know. So if you're interested, it's there. The more that I know. I also want to know, is it possible to know exactly what realm or frequency you're on? Your experiences mirror where you're going. And so pay attention to the things that are showing up in your reality, and whatever's showing up in your reality, you need to change the expectation that you have around that thing. But yeah, you can always tell where you're going based off of what you're experiencing, because all your experiences are mirroring you. I feel like working makes me work against myself. It does. Because it's meant to drain your energy. And so you don't have any access to creative energy. We don't realize that creative energy comes through a regulated nervous system. And we don't have regulated nervous systems because we're not taught to have regulated nervous systems. They put you in therapy, but therapy doesn't, it helps you to look deeper, but I don't think it helps you to actually teach you how to regulate your nervous system. Not from a spiritual lens. Let me not say that, because I think it does for some people, but I think there's a spiritual side to that needs to be incorporated, especially in terms of time. Okay, thank you. Okay, through human design, I'm definitely going to connect with you. Ooh. I'm newer to your platform. Oh, okay, well, welcome, my love. It's nice to meet you. There was a reading you said we should get first with you. What's the name of that one? The Oversoul design reading. I always suggest that first, because the Oversoul design reading is about your energetic design. And so what it helps you to do is return to energetic sovereignty, so that you are the version of you that you came here to be, and not the version that the world told you to be. And so what I do in that reading is I tell you how to get into alignment with your energy. I give you tips, I give you tricks, I give you everything that you need to know about your energy, why you came here, all of it. What environments work best for you, how you process information, because we don't understand that if you got stomach problems, you have a problem digesting life. It's not just the stomach. Your stomach is your processing center for information. And so if you have stomach problems, you're having problems with digesting information. And so you need to know how to help your stomach. Like how to help your stomach process information. And also we're different in the way that we show up in environments, also in the way that um, we eat. Some of us are more intuitive and open, and some of us need to be more calculated and strategic, And so just those little things, like when I learned human design, that is what changed my life. Not the books, not the nothing. When I learned my human design, that is what changed my life. And so as I was doing readings for human design, because even the people who haven't gotten a human design reading for me in a long time, I kept evolving with that, because I was like, yeah, but this is more like a personality tool and about the material world. How do we incorporate the soul into this? And I said, well, my oversoul, and I came up with a whole new system. And so a human design reading for me is so different than everybody else, because nobody's operating off the same system as me, because I've incorporated the flame lineage codes, which are going to be your soul's language, and that's the flame lineage readings. But again, that's high work. So I would get the oversoul design reading first, but I made it soul encoded because I think that it's so much more than what we use it for. And we don't realize at the time that we was channeling that, because no idea is original. We just tapping into information that already exists, right? When we tapped into that, though, we tapped in it 100+ years ago. Like, when we were way more mental then than we are now. And so somebody needed to go back in and restructure that. And so I did it, because I was just like, I want to talk to people's souls. I don't want to talk to the material aspects of them, because it's only 10% of who you are. Yes, I do hit on that stuff, which is your masculine energy. But you also need to understand your feminine energy, because your feminine energy is 90% of who you are. Like, if we don't talk about that in deep detail, then we just missing the whole fucking point, And so I redid it. In these last couple of, when did I redo that? I think earlier this year. Oh, my knee is hurting, child. Them workouts been kicking my ass. Hold on. Okay, so I have a free reading to give away to somebody. That's my next step, for real. I need an oversoul design reading. That human design is deep. Yeah, it really is. So I wanted to give away a reading, because I had somebody, Lisa and Laura, the twins. They donated a free service to somebody. And it's an oversoul mission design reading. This is the one that I'm offering for the Black Friday sale it's going to be going into this Friday. So I guess I need to figure out how I'm going to give this away. How am I going to give this away? Hold on. Yeah, it's very nice of them. They are the sweetest people I've ever met. Very beautiful energy. And we all three of us are here to do the same thing, meaning like our oversoul mission is the same. And I was like, I understand why y'all came my direction. Contagious personality, for sure. I want to do a prompt. That's what I want to do. I want to do a prompt, but I want whoever I feel like, is that what I want to do? Because I think I want us to have a real conversation about something. Hold on. Let me go to my notes real quick. I'm so excited. Okay, here's the question. Oh, I love me some Cleo too, y'all. She was in LA at the Hollywood Bowl, which is my favorite venue, by the way, because ain't no sky. We outside. And you can bring your own snacks, your own everything. Couldn't ask for a better time. I went by myself, but baby, the vocals on the track do her no justice. Zero, zilch, nada. You have no fucking idea. Her range is there. Her vocal control is there, but you would never know unless you went to that show. And so I'm telling you, don't miss a show by her. It's so good. Okay, so I got a question. Here's the question to see. No, for real, I seen her in New York. Okay, period. Girl, at this point, we besties. So here's the question. What part of you do you live from most often? Your body, your mind, or your soul? And what might it look like for you to walk fully as your soul in a body? Yes, you should go see her, Kelly. Like it's requirement for life. I also think Jill Scott. I also think Erykah Badu. Let me give you out a question again, though, because I can go on a tangent. Which part of me do I live from most often? My mind, my body, or my soul? And what might it look like to walk as a soul in a body? What might it look like for me to walk fully as a soul in a body? I love this song on Spotify, Born Divine, Shift to Abundance. Okay, I have to check it out. And this is for the free service. It's an oversoul design reading, which is basically me telling you what you came here to do, what you need to master, what you need to walk away from, the environments that suit you best, those type of things. So we can think of it as like a mini human design reading, but not really. I think you gave the answer away with the second question. I didn't. The question is, which part of me do I live from the most? My body, my soul, or my mind? What might it feel like to walk as a soul in a body? Hey, Laura, I'm giving away the reading right now, Laura. Y'all, Laura just hopped in the chat. Say thank you, Laura. Okay, so somebody said my mind, honesty. We love that. I walk in freedom, very self-aware, understanding myself and my mission. Okay. My mind for sure. What it would look like would be trusting my intuition and moving from there. Okay. I say I operate or move out of all of those parts of myself, but just not fully integrated yet. Okay. So it's dependent on the circumstances. So then what is it? What would it look like for you to walk fully as your soul in a body? Do y'all understand? Oh no, the answer is not the soul. I'm asking you, which part do you live out most? Your mind, your body, or your soul? What does it look like for you to be fully embodied? They said, thank you, Laura. I live from my mind, and I feel like if I walk as my soul in my body, I'll be most authentic. Okay, that's a good one. They said, thank you, Laura. They're saying thank you on TikTok, Laura. So your soul is the part of you that feels everything, right? But it's also the part of you that remembers yourself outside of just this incarnation. Like every version you've ever been across every single universe. Okay? Every single version of you. Before you even came, because Earth is the lowest density. This is you coming all the way down, descending all the way down, and now you're supposed to descend you're supposed to ascend all the way back up, but you ascend by descending while you're still here, right? So let me say that. So this is the version of you who have seen you in every single facet. So I want y'all to go a little bit deeper than that, because I think saying my most authentic self, yes, absolutely, you'll be your most authentic self. But what does that version of you look like? What is she doing that you're not doing? What is he doing that you're not doing right now? Fee said being free and trusting that everything is for the betterment of my soul. Okay. If integrated, be a soul, my body would be balanced, clear, calculated, and autonomous. Why calculated, KLP? Self-mastery, yes. Mind, it will look like not worrying about how I'm going to get the ranch, just working towards it. There we go. Now we're on to something. It'd be like warrior, not afraid of anything or anyone or anything. Okay. I think warrior has the word war in it, and that concerns me a little bit, but not in a bad way. I do think it's a warrior in a way, but for sure. Lisa and I are honored to give a gift like this. Taja has blessed us with so many resources to elevate us. Period. Let me see who has gotten closest to what I'm looking for. Okay, let's see. All right, so we got my mind, and I will walk in freedom, very self-aware, understanding myself and my mission. My mind for sure, and what it would look like would be trusting my intuition and moving from there. I say I operate or move out of all parts, but not yet fully integrated. I live my mind and I walk my soul and my body with the most authentic. Yes, yes, yes. Balanced, clear, calculated, autonomous. And also autonomous too, because that feels like autopilot. And that's, you want to be fully conscious. You don't want to be on autopilot. And calculation comes from your mind. It doesn't come from your body, right? Calculation, strategy, plan, that comes from your mind, not your body. Being free and trusting that everything is for the betterment of my soul. Okay. Mind, it would look like not worrying about how I'm going to get the ranch, just working towards it. I think that's the one. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Oh, I'll be clearing my intuition and discernment. Okay. My most authentic self looks like trusting in myself and holding my boundaries and alignment. Yes, I like that. I think I'm going to select, who is this? Introcon. I'm going to select Introcon. And the reason why is because I love your answer. It would be like not worrying about how I'm going to get the ranch, just working towards it. Absolutely. Because we do so much planning, we do so much strategizing, we do so much worrying about things, misusing our imagination to create these expectations around what it is that we want, not realizing that it's about the joy in it. It's about the transformation. That's where you get the joy, right? That's where you get satisfaction, right? And so what I liked about what you said is going to get the rent, not worrying about how, but just moving towards the what. That's literally everything. That's literally what we're here to do, right? The how is not our business. The how we do it is not our business. The what is our business. And then it's like, what can I do today to get me closer to that goal? Because anything else has you living in the future or living in the past, right? Hey, Tajane. So I think that was a brilliant answer, because with just that small little piece, you encapsulate what true embodiment looks like, because you know for a fact that you have all the qualifications. You know for a fact that you're worthy of those things. You know, you're not tying it to anything outside of yourself. You know, it's just, this is what I want. This is the direction I'm moving. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the shit in the middle. Just know where I'm going. I like that. Also, me and my body is radiating love frequency. Yes. So Introcon, I want you to email me, TAJAMOORE16 at Gmail. Taja Moore 16 at Gmail. TAJAMOORE16 at Gmail. And that's a lesson in itself. I booked a reading, but think I overlooked where to input the info you needed. What name did you book it under, baby? Kiana? Cynthia. Oh, Kanisha? Oh, you just did this. Oh no, if you just booked this, okay. If you just booked this, babe, I'm gonna as soon as I get off live, I'll send you an email. Or I can just send it right now if you want. Um, hold on. It don't take me nothing. And right now I'm booked out until Friday, which is not a bad look because usually you would be next week. So, um, it's right on time. Hold on, let me look at my book real quick. Let me just make sure real quick though, because sister, ooh, shit, I think I got like 7 readings this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, I only got 5. Okay. No, I got 6 with this one. Okay. All right. Um, but that is a whole word in itself, y'all. And let me tell you why. Because I feel like we spend so much time worrying about um the how because we don't trust that what it is that we want we can have without us forcing it, without us figuring it out or overworking or doing more, right? Giving more, putting forth the effort. When you release your expectation, when you know what the goal is and just have fun in the process of doing it, don't even worry about the in between or the how or the what. That is you releasing control. That is you surrendering. And true control in reality is surrendering, and now every single opportunity that's available to you, every timeline where you get this thing is open to you and not just that specific one that you won't let go of, right? And then it does not require you to force anything. It gets to move in love. It's not about how quick you get there. It's about you getting there. And I think in society, they tell us we need to reach success fast. We need to have, they give us the Forbes 30 under 30, 40 under 40. All of those things are like the same thing as perfect attendance, honor roll, right? They're trying to push perfection. They're trying to tell you that you need to get somewhere fast and it comes through effort and you have to earn it. But that's just not true. We are magnetic at our core. But we have to be moving from our heart. We cannot be moving from our wounds. And a lot of us are moving from our wounds. And that's why we need to control everything. That's why we have all these high expectations, right? Because we don't want to be broke again. Because we need to prove our worth. Because we didn't do good at school, but we could do good at this. All of these different reasons why we operate the way that we operate, And so the reason why I chose you is because yours didn't have any of that. I had to leave and come back in. I'm sorry. Oh, I just sent you an email. Hey, Tanique, where you been at, girl? So, IntroCon, that was for you. So, whenever you get a chance, send me an email and we can schedule that reading. Oh, this Olivia Dean song. I'm obsessed with Olivia Dean. I'm an Olivia Dean-aholic because I feel like it's real, it's honest emotion, and that's what we're missing in music. Is just in life. Like I've been writing poetry lately. Bitch, who are you? I've never written poetry before. I've never even had the desire to write poetry, but I was in like a fit of rage and I was just like, you know what? We don't look at the world as art anymore. And so I wrote this poem about us not looking at the world as art anymore. And dancing around my living room, and I started dancing again, which is something I used to do in high school and I loved all the way through college. And oh, it just feels good. Yeah, my email is TAJA Thomas Alpha Juliet Alpha Moore MOORE Mike Oscar Romeo Echo 16 at Gmail. TAJA MOORE 16 at Gmail. Trusting the alignment, trusting in divine timing. Yes, yes, yes. Those are the things. And I want y'all to know, whoever wasn't selected, don't think that it was something wrong with your answer, because I think that we're always in this process of becoming and figuring it out. And I think that is your truth for where you are. Thank you. That's your truth for where you are. And I don't think there's anything wrong with your truth. But I love to look from the higher lens, and it wasn't even that IntroCon said that perfectly. It was just like, instead of focusing on how to get there, just knowing that that's the goal and working towards it. That's it. It wasn't even a lot of context, but it's what I said. What do you assume from that, right? Thank you. I really appreciate that. I have been using a different product in my hair. Like the product that I normally use in my hair when it's curly, I've been using in my hair while it's locked. And I really, really like the outcome of that. And I didn't even do nothing to my hair this morning, but I went somewhere yesterday so you can still see the little edge control from yesterday. That answer unlocked something for me. Yes. Because I think we think that satisfaction comes from the outcome of it. It doesn't. It comes through the transformation. It's what you had to go through, who you had to, the version of yourself you had to release to get you there, and realizing that you're so much better off for that you'll never have to be that version of you again, because you decided to shed the skin and allow yourself and give yourself permission to move forward from your wounds, from the things that have kept you stuck and stagnant. Like there's so much beauty in that it's not the house, it's not the relationship, it's not the kids, none of those things are going to get you true satisfaction. True satisfaction comes from transformation. Why? Because we came here to grow and evolve and to transform. We are transformers. We're melanite crystalline beings. Melanin or melanite is a crystal. It's brown, right? But the difference between that crystal and a lot of different crystals is that it transmutes. It alchemizes light. You are that crystal. And so I think it's such a beautiful thing. So simply said, but a beautiful, beautiful thing, because there's so much that we can take from that and learn from that. It's a lesson in itself, because the true reality is you're not in control. You never were in control. And the more that you try to be in control, the more you delay the process. And so you have to release control. You have to know that you're worthy of that thing without you having the proof every single day, without you receiving the money every single day, without you, getting the proof every single day. 2 O's, 1 R. TAJAMOORE 16@gmail. We just delay the process because we create tension, and you need to be in an expanded state. An expanded state says that I don't care how I get there. Whatever timeline I'm on, just move me in this direction. Because when you care about how you get there and you attach it to a specific outcome, or you attach yourself to a specific identity, you close off all the other options. And now you're just moving down one lane when you could be moving and jumping in between 10, So beautiful. That's been the root of a lot in my life. Yeah. I think me too, because I was a rigid ass bitch. Rigid in the worst way possible. I hated that for me, but I needed to control everything. I was trying to control people. I would go into my job and try to control them immediately, like to make myself feel safe. And it wasn't until I realized that true control is surrender. And I started, that email is specific to a person. That was specific to a person who needs to send me an email. But yeah, like it's I forgot what I was saying. Damn. Yeah, well, it came and it went. But yeah, that's a lie. Okay. Now, true safety is surrender. Thank you, Lonnie. You got me back there. But it's in surrender, and I think that we think that we don't understand that tension, contraction, fear contracts, by the way, is us operating from a fragmented place. We're not supposed to force anything, because that's us gripping at something. And also when you force, what happens when you force something? You're pushing something outwards. That means that you're not magnetizing. You're not using your natural magnetism. You're using force and effort, which means you're swimming up fucking stream. You're swimming upstream. When you can just relax into it, when you can trust, because trust is the currency of the universe. The more that you anchor into trust and you just allow it to be whatever it is, because you already decided before you came here. Trust yourself enough to know that you ain't create no shit you ain't gonna like, right? Sink into it. Watch how quickly it comes. Create space for it to come too. While you in the interim, instead focus on what you can do to get you there closer to that every single day. But don't think you got to do 10 different things because you trying to get there quicker. It doesn't matter how many things you do. Do one thing a day that's gonna get you closer to that goal and have fun while you're doing it. Right? That's you matching the frequency. That's you saying, reminding the universe, this is what I want. But don't be attached to that outcome, because if you attach to a specific outcome, you don't see all the other options available to you. And now I'm gonna say this. Nicole, I'm sending you an email back now. But I'm gonna say this. I put on here Friday, but just keep in mind that I might be overbooking myself. And so if you get a message from me on Thursday that's like, hey, Nicole, I'm gonna have to get this to you tomorrow, just prepare yourself for that. I'm gonna try though, because I'm gonna try to start these readings tomorrow. Because if I can at least get I should be okay, but we'll see. Because I'm unreliable sometimes, and sometimes I got to be in the right energy and I want to be in the right energy so I can deliver to y'all the right shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I have a question. I signed up for Spirit School. How you know if you're picked? Hi, boo. So right now, me and my team are actually in the process of going through all the applications. I've went through all of them personally and kind of like left notes, but we have a meeting later on this week to discuss it. And then after that, we'll start sending out emails. And I'm excited too. I think we're at like 66 people or something like that right now. So if you haven't did the intake, please go do the intake, y'all. But take your time with it. Like fill into the questions. It's an intake. It's on my website. So if you go to bigtaj.com with 2 J's, click on Soul School. It's there. Laura, I'm excited. I'm excited too, girly. Okay, everything you're saying, I really need it right now. Confirmation that I'm on the right track. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing and thank you for participating. A lot of times we think that our perspective is not important because it's not worded like this, or it's not glitz and glam, or whatever it is. Your perspective is always important. Always important. I'm excited too. I really am. Like the app is done. I think I'm gonna, as soon as I don't know if it's gonna happen this week, but I think I want to get away from Patreon, and I'm going to move everything over to the Soul School. And it has an app called the Flame Spiral. And so I'm going to move everything over to the Flame Spiral. And if you're a guest, you'll still have access to the astrology for the week. You'll still have access to the community chat. And the lives that I'll do specifically through the app, you'll have access to all of that. And I think I'm going to probably charge a small fee, like $5.99 or something like that. But for the students, you'll enter through a different portal. And I think everybody should know something by December 15th, because that's when open enrollment starts. So, yeah. And then I'm selecting, I think, I say 4, but we'll see. I'm selecting a couple people for scholarship as well. So I'm excited about that. Y'all want to do some 1-card pools? Y'all want to do some free 1-card pools? Literally and physically, period. You know I'm doing so right. And if y'all wasn't on here earlier, I am. Yes, let's do some 1-card pools. How much is school? Right now, I'm in the process of working that out. Okay. I'm in the process of figuring that out. I'm sorry. So right now, how I have it set up, which is, again, me and my team are going to kind of meet about this, so don't take this in stone. But I think that there should be an initial investment, monetary investment. And the reason why I say that is because, through me doing these intakes, I've realized that a lot of people And also just some of the comments that I've been getting is that a lot of people don't value spiritual work and don't realize that this is an investment in yourself that's going to set you up for the rest of your life. And I think that there should be some type of commitment from you guys' side. Okay. And so this is not set in stone, but I think that once you get in open enrollment, there will be a starter fee, or not starter fee, but I don't know the terminology. What do I want to say? Initiation fee. Okay. And that's 111. Okay. And then what you pay monthly is a sliding scale. And what I mean by that is I want to have, if you are in a good space right now financially, I would like everybody to be at 111 a month, because I think that that's only fair. However, I understand what times we live in. And I think that as long as you participate in class, I will be willing to drop that down to either 66 and at the lowest point 33. And then I also have, again, 4 scholarships. And so that's monthly. And so even if you're at 111 a month, that's $1,300 a year for school, and then how I have it structured is 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. Okay. And in that 1 week off, I'm going to have office hours where if like on Tuesday, I'll be available for like 2 to 3 hours where I'm where you can come in and ask any additional questions or private questions that you might have. But yeah, it's gonna be 3 weeks on, 1 week off. And then I'm was gonna do 3 sessions a week, but I don't know if I have the energetic capacity for that. And so what I think I want to do is 2 sessions a week. And on that second session, every other week is gonna change between energy work and healing, a healing circle. And so there's 3 priestesses that are gonna start off helping us. And it's just good. I can't wait. How are you picking for the scholarship? I haven't decided that. I haven't got that far yet. Because I've gotten so many people who've reached out specifically for the scholarship. But yeah, I don't know yet. That's a great price for a lifetime investment. Yeah, and like to me, I wanted it to create a different energetic economy. Whereas, I could be charging $500, $600 for this, but I don't want to, because I want the other side of the investment to be your presence in class. I want the other side of your investment to be your participation in the community chat. I want the other side of your presence to be just you showing up and being involved. Like I really want this to be a safe space where you're building community, where you walk away with friends you probably would have never come across, like who are interested in the same things as you, that are aligned with the same things as you, that kind of go. It's like how like you, for example, like before I went to college, I went to this program at Ball State and this program at IU, where basically you together for like, I think a 6-week period, and you're kind of experiencing college together. I'm still friends with some of those people because it's just an experience where it's like you only had this experience with these people. You know what I'm saying? And so I want people are always talking about community and wanting community. That's what I'm trying to build here, And so I'm being very intentional about who gets access in, and it's not about worthiness or anything like that. It's about your capacity to witness yourself and your willingness to be open, and allow yourself to be witnessed as well. And so, yeah, I'm thinking about a sliding scale. I think the 33 is going to have to be a conversation for sure. I think there might be extra duties or things that you might have within the community. But I hate that because it feels like I'm saying that you have to earn it, and I don't like that either, And so I'm trying to make it I want it to be with the times, but I mean, I think the 111 is fair. However, I understand what the climate is, but I also don't want to under offer myself, because there's so much work that has gone into this and so much work that will go into this moving forward. Like energy work is so taxing on my energy. It's so taxing on the body just in general, And so I thought $100 a month is really fair for school. Like there's nobody offering you $100 a month for school. Nobody, and I think what I have to offer is worth that, Um, but I just feel like some people are not going to feel like that, and that's okay. Or some people are struggling right now, and that's okay. Like I think that if you need to be on a lower plan for a couple months because you're getting your shit together, fine. If you when you get in a better position, let me know. And I think the 111 helps too. 111 is a scholarship at this fucking point. Yeah. So it's not set in stone with the pricing yet because I need to go through it with my team because I also have to pay them. And it's just, I'm just trying to, figure out how to do this in a way that's affordable to people because I do not like I don't think that our access to things should be based off of money because I think that's us making money our master. And I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with capitalism. It's not like I'm trying to be a millionaire or anything off of this. It's that I genuinely want to help people. And so if you can come to class and you can participate and you can show up and I can help you, you can help me, whatever, I'm okay with that. It's just figuring out that. We appreciate your time and also trying to accommodate others. Yeah, because I think I'm more so concerned about my community because I think we don't have a lot of resources and we don't have a lot of us who are willing to sacrifice. Which I don't really think it's a sacrifice, to be honest. Like I think that I don't know. It's in progress. Let me just say that. And so the reason why at first it was just gonna be whatever you pay monthly, but the reason why I said the initiation fee is because I was getting a lot of people who are reaching out who just don't see the value in spiritual work or feel like this should be free to them and they don't have to make any type of energetic investment. And I also don't fuck with that because spiritual work is trying to get you in contact with your body and who you are so that you never need another person in your life and you don't see the value in that, but you'll go and spend $100,000 a year at a university. Like that's insane to me. You don't think you're worth the investment, but you think they shit is worth the investment. Like that, something don't click up in here about that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be fair to where I don't rob myself, but I also don't rob other people. And I think because this is going to be a group thing, I don't think it needs to be $200, $300 because it's not like you're getting personal access to me because you can DM me, you can write me, you can all of those things. But I just don't think it's a personal one-on-one situation to where I need to charge people $500, $600. Like that's just not fair. Like I want it to be fair. I want it to be and I would rather you energy exchange with participation than with money. But at the same time, I also need you to understand that this is an investment in yourself, So yeah, anyways, in your spine. Okay, let's do some one card pulls. And I'm not scrolling back up. So if you in the chat and you want a one card pull, just drop it in the chat and I'll probably be on here for another 30 minutes. Then I need to get on with life. But I love y'all though. Okay, Tajane, you first. And I think we're gonna make these. No, this is not a yes or no question. I created an Oversoul Codex. Look at that, gorgeous. It looks like tarot, but it's really not. It's really focused on the soul and what we need to know from a soul level, or what we might be going through on a soul level that we need to look at. But it's still constructed like tarot because I wanted ancient wisdom and modern technology, which is why I'm doing with the school. We have an app because ancient wisdom and modern technology, because I think we need to combine the times because we've already done it purely heart. We've already done it purely intelligence, which is purely heart would be Lemuria, purely intelligence would be Atlantis. And now with this new earth frequency, we need both. We need information and intuition. We need knowledge and understanding. So I'm just trying to walk it like I talk it. You know what I'm saying? All right. So this is for you, Tajane. What theme is coming up in Tajane's life right now? Okay, I got you, love. All right. So for you, Tajane, I get the 8 of Stone in reverse. And this is Capricorn energy, child. This is the cap. That automatic. All right. So this is coming out in the shadow side, which is burnout. It's over effort. It's perfectionism. It's obsession. It's misalignment with your purpose. and it's proving energy. So in the shadow side, the devoted craft becomes drudgery. You may be working too hard from a place of pressure, of fear, or seeking validation. What was once sacred may feel like an obligation now. So this could speak to something that you really, really had fun doing, and then now it just feels like an obligation. The flame dims when you're creating to prove, not to embody. This card can also indicate misdirected energy, pouring your effort into things that no longer align with your truth. You might be stuck in perfectionism, afraid to share until it's flawless, which can cause paralysis. Or perhaps you've been ignoring your body's need to rest in service of constant productivity, which is not knowing when enough is enough, right? And so the Eight of Stone in Shadow asks, is your devotion still alive, or has it become performance because you feel like you're obligated to do this thing, right? And so the advice here is you don't need to perfect your flame, you just need to protect it. And so that means that you need to be always moving in alignment with your truth, and it is okay for your truth to change. Darn it. Uh-oh, we might have hit a nerve there. Okay. All right, that was for you, Taja. I found it on your website. Thank you. Okay, good, boo. Okay, so let's do Empowered Jackie. Empowered by Jackie. Hold on, let me make sure. Yep, let's do Empowered by Jackie, and then we'll do Rye from YouTube. Okay, so this is for my girl Jackie. What we got for my girl Jackie? What's the theme for Jackie? Okay, so we got the flame pathway for you, Jackie. So we got the Three of Flame here. And so I want y'all to know that Tajane, baby, that's temporary. Okay. When you get a flame card, a breath card, a stone card, or a water card, okay, these are temporary situations. You are not stuck forever. Okay. I will let you know when it's a main theme card. Okay. But this is for Jackie. And Jackie, this came out upright, which is about momentum. It's about alignment. It's about outward expression, visionary focus, creative motion, and expansion. Okay. So the Three of Flame is a sign that your flame has found its own rhythm. What was once internal, the spark, the mirror, is now being felt and seen in your external world. You are in motion and the flame path is opening before you. There is alignment, forward movement, and a growing sense of purpose. This card often arises when your inner work begins to crystallize into form, a creative project, a new role, an offering, or a vision made tangible. The flame path asks you to trust your unfolding without rushing it, though. So do it slowly so it can last. Slow mastery. This is not the time to grasp or to control the outcome. Ooh, wasn't that just what we talked about? Okay, that's a double whammy. It is the time to walk in resonance with your flame and let it illuminate the next steps and then the next steps, meaning like in resonance with your truth. So stay rooted in your purpose and don't fall into performance, okay? So the lesson here is let your truth lead you, not your need for validation. Okay, that's for you, Jackie. Okay, I got you. So let me do Riri first off of YouTube, and then we'll come back and do Nana. Riri, you still here, girl? Let's see what we got for you. Okay, this is for you, Riri. What theme is coming up for Riri? Okay, we got some community energy here, babe. And so we get the Three of Stone, which again is a temporary thing, okay? The Three of Stone is about sacred alliance, but it is coming out in the shadow side, okay? Which means either over reliance on other people, unequal energy exchange, a lack of boundaries, creative tension, or codependent projects. So in the shadow, the collaboration becomes clouded. Perhaps you're depending too much on others, unsure of how to stand in your own voice, or maybe you're doing all of the work while others coast on your energy. But either way, this is about misaligned partnerships, chasing validation, or a lack of shared vision that can distort what was meant to be sacred. This card also warns against hiding behind collaboration as a way to avoid full responsibility for your own flame, right? Your contribution is essential, but it must come from sovereignty and not survival. And so the shadow side of collaboration asks you, am I collaborating from trust or from lack? And that could be in your relationships. A lot of time we think scarcity only shows up when it comes to finances, but it also shows up in our relationships when we fear that we're going to be abandoned, right? It causes us to grip people. It causes us to enter into relationships or things that aren't aligned with us because we feel like if we'll be missing something or missing out on something. Okay. And so this is asking, am I collaborating from trust or lack? Do I feel seen, valued, and heard in this creation? Because true co-creation honors the flame in everyone. And so the advice here is not all who gather are meant to build with you. So you might need to check that circle and make sure that you got good boundaries. Thank you so much. And dang, so relatable at the moment. Okay, good. Give me what you need, girl. Give me what you need. All right, this is for you, Nana. What theme is coming up for our girl, Nana? I'll get you in a second, AJ. What's coming up? Ooh, there we go. Ooh, we got you. You're living in your mind, girls. You're living in your mind. Anymore. I'm tired. This song about walking away from old friends. Hit. The Fava Breath. Sorry, I'm not going to do that. This is temporary too, okay? This is about distorted guides or like living in your head. But this is in shadow, okay? So it means that this energy is upside down, okay? So this is about spiritual dependency, doubt, internalized distortion, confusion, chaos, or self-erasure altogether. And so in the shadow, this card reveals that you may still be operating under someone else's authority, meaning like the belief systems of society, the belief systems of your parents, the belief systems of your partner, And so you may fear trusting your own insight, waiting for validation, or carrying the subtle programming of someone who once claimed to know better. This can also reflect internal gaslighting, where you distrust your own wisdom because of past manipulation. The danger here is disempowerment by influence disguised as intuition, meaning like you could have been in situations where you're being emotionally abused or manipulated, and that situation may have ended, but you might still be telling yourself some of the same things that person was telling yourself, So it's like telling you to check that inner voice because it might not belong to you, right? And so you may hear a voice and think it's divine when it's simply just conditioned. And so the advice with this card is don't confuse conviction with clarity. Some voices are just louder. It does not mean that they're truer. Okay. And so check what's happening on the internal side. Okay. And that is for Nana. I appreciate it so much. Yikes, you're spot on. Baby, this was made with my essence. Okay. This is me. This is about the soul. Oh, Nay, I'm sorry. Thank you. I do want to get that right for you, girl. All right, this is for you, AJ. What theme is coming up for AJ? Ooh, shit. You ain't have to fly like that. Girl, that's some serious shit that's happening there. This is temporary, okay? And it's the Four of Waters. And this is about the numbing flame. Okay. Yeah. So this is another temporary thing. But this is coming out in the shadow, okay? And so in the shadow side, this is about avoidance. It's about emotional shutdown. It's about indifference. It's about closing off your heart, apathy towards beauty, or fear of intimacy. So in the shadow, the numb flame becomes emotionally avoidant. You may not just feel numb, you may actively choose to disconnect. This could come from fear of pain, exhaustion from past grief, or belief that emotions are inconvenient or unsafe. There's also a risk of dismissing beauty or joy, assuming it's naive or irrelevant. But this numbness left unchecked can calcify into emotional isolation. When you stop letting yourself feel, you stop letting yourself live. And so the advice here is if you close the door to pain, you've also locked out joy. And so what this is saying is, I think oftentimes when we've been through things that like betrayal or grief or whatever the case may be, right? we try to protect ourselves from that pain, and we close off our capacity to feel because we don't want to let anybody in anymore. We would just rather be by ourselves. But you can't shut the door on that without shutting the door on joy. What it's really telling you, or what we're supposed to do in life, is realize that person did not have the capacity to meet you where you were. And it does not mean that you have to change the innocence and purity of your love. It just means you need to change the people. You need to change the people, not yourself. And that is what true moving while keeping your heart open and energetic protection is changing your boundaries. Because whatever you were given permission to before, you need to say no to it. You need to have a boundary there, and then you need to move towards people who are in more alignment with who you already are. Okay, so that was for you, AJ. Hold on. Okay, you are so very welcome, my love. Okay, so this next is Shay. I think, yes, Shay. Next is Shay. What theme is coming up for my girl, Shay? Okay, so for you, we got this much appreciated. You are awesome. Oh, of course, baby. Thank you. All right, so we got the Seven of Stone. Okay, the Seven of Stone. And this is coming out in shadow. And so this is about impatience. This is about self-doubt. It's about abandoning the process, rushing the harvest, a mistrust, or pulling up the roots too soon. Okay. So in the shadow side, the weight and flame becomes unbearable. You may feel tempted to abandon your path out of frustration or fear that nothing is happening. Perhaps you've pulled your roots up too early in the past, searching for faster results or clearer signs. The truth is, your doubt may be louder than your devotion right now. This card warns against interrupting divine cycles, impatience that can lead to sabotage. When your ego demands proof, it often digs up what the soul is still tending. You may feel discouraged, unseen, and restless right now, but this is not the time for you to quit. This is a time for you to deepen. The question becomes, can you love something enough to let it take its time? And so the advice here is, do not harvest a gift before it becomes itself. Okay. And so this is about the process of becoming, and that sometimes we're going to have our ups and downs in lives. And I think because we've been sold through society that things are supposed to happen quickly, when things are not happening quickly, we think that we're failing, or we start to doubt our capacity to weather the storm. And what this card is really saying is that whatever it is that's happening right now in your life, you're being reformed, you're being transformed. Things are being built on a sturdier foundation, and you have to trust that. And right now, your doubt is just deeper than your devotion right now. Okay. And that was for my girl, Pache. Oh, shit. Hey, Lisa. Everybody say thank you, Lisa. She's the one who, her and Laura both donated the service that we just gave away to Intricon. Nicole, I'm sorry, girl. Let me stop calling you that. All right. All right. And so next I have Tatiana. This is for my girl, Tatiana. What do we have? Ooh. All right. So Tatiana, we get the Four of Stone, but you came out upright. Okay. Now the Fourth Stone is the guarded flame. Okay. And so this is about a protection. It's about preservation, control, scarcity, caution, boundaries, holding patterns, and a fear of loss. And so the Four of Stone appears when you're holding something sacred, your energy, your resources, your time, with great care. You've worked hard to establish a foundation, and now the instinct is to protect it at all costs. And this card can indicate the early signs of stability, income, security, clarity, but with it comes the question, can you trust it to last? And so this card affirms your right to tend the flame, which means for you, it's okay to say no. Okay, it's okay for you to pause. You're learning to protect what you've built without gripping it in fear. And in its highest expression, the guarded flame reminds us that boundaries are sacred containers. They're not walls, though. They're not walls. Okay. When this card appears, ask yourself, am I guarding this flame to preserve it, or out of fear it will be taken from me? The answer reveals where safety is rooted. And so the lesson here is guard your flame with love, not with fear. Okay. And so, what I want to kind of say about this card is that I think when we work really hard to be the version of ourselves that we are today, a lot of times we want to protect that at all costs. And we sometimes confuse sovereignty with separation, meaning like we'll say, well, I'm just protecting my peace, and we cut people off, we isolate ourselves from people. But peace, if peace is only contingent upon things going right, then you're doing it wrong, right? Because you should be able to have your boundaries in place, and so that it doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a storm or in the middle of chaos, you still are safe, because safety comes from you. You know that you're going to speak up when you need to. You know you're going to communicate when you need to. And a lot of times we confuse that, like I said, with separation. And so we end up isolating ourselves because we're trying to protect something, or we're afraid we're going to lose something, or somebody's going to mess something up, or we'll abandon ourselves again, or whatever the case may be. And so what this is saying is look at guarding your flame is okay. Tending to your flame is okay. Saying no is okay. Pausing is okay. But make sure that you have boundaries and not walls, because that'll keep everything out. And you want some things to come through, like joy. Spot on. Okay, baby. You're doing free pulls. Yeah, I'm doing a one card pull right now, baby. If you want one, just let me know. So intuitive. I'm so excited about my reading with you. I hope you have a great night. Bye, guys. Bye, love. See you later. I think she's got a master plan. Okay, where am I at? Okay, so that was Tatiana, and this one is for Asia. What do we got for Asia? That lady, she's the. Oh no, coming into it. This is for Asia. Ooh, there we go. So for you, I get the Nine of Waters, and she actually comes out upright. Um, going into it. That lady, she's the. So this is about emotional fulfillment. It's about soul joy. It's about heart contentment, inner abundance, wish realized, radiant self love, and aligned receptivity. The Nine of Waters is the moment when joy returns, not as a flash, but as a steady stream. This is soul fulfillment that rises from within, not from external gain. A deep wish may be manifesting, or may simply be feeling more emotionally you than you've ever been. I'm sorry. Or you may simply be feeling more emotionally you than you ever have. This card marks a season of inner celebration. You've done the work. You've left what no longer serves you. You've tended your waters, and now you overflow. This is not just happiness, it's soul resonance. Pleasure becomes sacred. Gratitude becomes your compass. You're glowing not just to be seen, but because you are seen by yourself. Okay. Receive this moment. You've earned it. And the lesson here is when your heart is full, when your heart is full, you stop chasing what was never yours. Okay. And so this is, you're making different decisions now, which is good. I love that for you, girlfriend. Abundance and alignment. And that's your name, period. I love that for you. I need to check for the credit. How did I order the cards the other day? Hold on. I need to check for the credit. How do I order the cards the other day? So hold on. I think you're talking about your refund. Let me see when I sent that. Baby steps. I think I pushed that through on the weekend. And if I pushed it through on the weekend, wait, hold on. I'll manage. Cause the house gonna love itself. But baby steps. Wait, would that be in canceled? No. No. Yours was back in July. Hold on, let me just look at the chat real quick. I fall forward. Yeah, so I pushed that through on the 23rd. Which I don't have a calendar in front of me. Baby steps. I pushed it through on the weekend, which was a Sunday, which means that it didn't actually go through until Monday. And so you got to remember that Thanksgiving was a holiday. And so we have 1, 2, 3. It's really only been 4 days. And so I would give it until the end of the week. And if it hasn't come through by the end of the week, you let me know. Okay. I found it on the website. Thank you. Okay. I already got you, Nay. Power by Jackie got you. Okay, hold on. I know somebody was there. Okay. Okay, so this is for you, Deja. Sorry. Is waking every morning and be happy. Okay, I get the page of flame for you, my love. And she is upright. I loved this art so much that she's the only flame that doesn't have the dark background. Her and the temple flame. And so the page of flame is about curiosity. It's about soul discovery, youthful passion, spiritual initiation, creative spark, and new path. The page of flame is the child of the fire, the one who carries the flame with innocence, wonder, and openness. This card speaks of a new soul cycle, one where you're beginning again, not from lack, but from remembrance. You may be learning how to walk with your gifts in a fresh way, feel inspired by a new path, or reconnecting with your creative essence after a long period of silence. This card is a yes to exploration, a yes to trying, learning, expressing, and letting the fire be imperfect but true, meaning like be a fucking mess for a second. It's okay for you to be a fucking mess, you know? You are being invited into sacred experimentation. Let joy lead, let your spirit teach. This is a phase of feeling the warmth of your flame again without needing to master it, okay? So the lesson here is your flame does not have to be perfect to be powerful. And I think you're learning that imperfection is beauty. Hey, Sister Treat. Hey, Memory Girl. To Paris once a year for a vacation. Oh, you got it? Good. I got it. I found it. I went onto your website to reorder the cards. Oh, you talking about how to do it through the manufacturer. You know what? I still haven't taken off the. Hold on. Okay. Y'all, she was at the Blue Notes. I went to the Blue Note on the 22nd. She was at the Blue Note on the 23rd. Do you know how pissed I was? And her show was sold out. Guapale, the closer. Oh, I was pissed. I could have cried. Love it. Okay, good. Oh, you reordered the cards. Yeah, I need to edit this my website real quick. All right. My eyes are burning. Okay. I'm gonna just save that. All right, I changed it. My eyes is fucking burning, child. But yeah, that's it. Did anybody else want one card pull before I get out of here? I got 6 minutes. Or I can head out. I might come on here tomorrow. Okay, Michi, I got you, Michi. What theme do we have in my girl's Michi life? Okay, I got you too, Memory. What do we got for Michi? Ooh, okay, Michi. What's going on? Hold on. All right. So yes, I got you too. Pegasus. And Pride Candle, I got you too. All right, so we got the Seven of Waters. So this is temporary. This is not something that's gonna last forever. So I just need to say that, okay? And then we got Waters here, and we got the Seven of Waters, okay? See all those different things in the cup? Can y'all see that? You got heart, you got fire, you got a skull, you got a snake, right? So this is about temptation. It's about fantasy. It's about multiple desires, confusion, emotional overwhelm, spiritual distraction, or discernment. The Seven of Water reveals a moment of choice within a field of emotional possibilities. You may be faced with many paths, people, or soul desires, and yet the more you look, the harder it becomes to feel clear. This card arrives when your heart is stirred, but your discernment is clouded. Not every cup is meant to be drank from. Some are offerings, some are distractions, and some are mirrors of your unspoken longing. This is a sacred moment of emotional sorting. The water shimmers with fantasy, potential, illusion, and truth, but only one leads deeper into remembrance. You're being asked to slow down and to feel beneath the surface of your desires. Which path feels like soul resonance, not ego escape? And the lesson here is desire is holy, but only when it's truly yours. And so you need to pay attention to your belief systems, pay attention to all of the things that might be coming your way right now. Because I think sometimes we get overwhelmed with the amount of ideas that are coming through or whatever direction we should move. And it's basically telling you to slow down and to feel into things. Okay. That's for you, Michi. This one's for memory. All right. So for you, memory, I get the King of Stone, the businessman. OMG, was it spot on, girl? So this is the businessman, but he's out of alignment. He's coming in through the shadow side, okay? So what this is about is over control, rigidity, fear-based leadership, dominance, disconnection from intuition. You're welcome, baby. In the shadow, the stone steward may become over-identified with structure. You may be clinging to old systems, roles, or responsibilities out of fear, afraid that if you let go, it will fall apart. Leadership can become burdensome, and success may feel isolating. You might also be using structure to avoid vulnerability or intuition, leaning too hard on plans, logic, or control while forgetting the living nature of what it is that you're building, meaning you're not moving from the heart anymore. This card warns against letting the temple become a fortress. It asks you, is this still aligned or am I maintaining it out of fear? So the advice here is build for freedom, not just for function. And so what it really asks you is to make sure that whatever it is that you're building, that if it is something that you truly love, then you need to bring the heart back in and you need to start having fun with it again. If it isn't something that you truly love, then you probably need to look in a different direction. Okay. Now, I think we had Pride's Candle Co. This is for you. What do we have for them? What's the theme here? All right, we got the embodied gate. Now, this is the... Damn, why are you running away from me? There might be some hesitation with embodiment here. So that hits because I'm not having fun and wanting to do something different. Thanks for the confirmation. You're welcome, baby. All right, so I get the embodied gate, but it was running away from me. Okay, now this is the first card that actually is like a big theme in your life, meaning like this is a full theme. Okay, this is not something that's temporary. This is about embodiment. It's about energy transmission, you being a living portal. It's about presence. It's about somatic truth, integration, restoration, sacred neutrality, walking in your truth, and flame anchoring. Oh, sorry. Disgust was creeping over me. All right. So when the embodied gate appears, it signals that you are no longer just a seeker, a student, or a channel. You have become the flame, not in theory, but in felt, radiant, lived expression. The embodied gate signifies the moment your soul fully touches down. You're no longer escaping into the clouds of vision or analysis. You are living your truth through your body, your presence, your voice. This card signals a major integration point on your path. What was fragmented begins to unify. What felt separate begins to harmonize. You are the portal now. You are the message now. Your body has become a transmission point, a gate through which flame codes, timelines, activations, and remembrance pass. The way you move, speak, and rest, hold space, all of it becomes a mirror and a catalyst. You are no longer trying to awaken, you are the living signal. There is a reason others feel stirred in your presence. There is a reason you are drawn to certain places, people, and grid points. Your field is a bridge between the unseen and the seen. This card invites you to trust your felt sense. Your knowing lives in the skin, in the womb, in the spine. It does not need to be translated. It already is. It invites you to stop seeking permission and begin walking as the flame you are. It reminds you that embodiment isn't perfection. It's presence. Okay. It's living the frequency of your knowing in the mundane and the mystical alike, meaning you need to be present in the seen world and in the unseen world. You become the gate that other people pass through. And so the lesson here is you do not need to do the work. You are the work embodied. Okay. So you don't need to perform love. You are love embodied, right? Your body is the gate to spiritual embodiment. Enter it fully, which means that there might be, because this was running away from me, meaning like the card popped out of my hand, flipped, and all kind of shit was happening. And so what I'm saying, what I think is that there's probably a need for embodiment here, a need for you to get into feeling and out of your mind. Make sure that you're operating from your body. And if you are, anchor in fully. Understand that you don't have to do more. You have to be more yourself. Okay. And that was for Pride Cancel. And then I got one more person, then I'm out of here. And this is for Pegasus. Be like I should to you. Ooh, damn. Got all kind of shit flying out at me. All right. So for you, we get the 4 of breath coming up right. And this is the quiet mind. This is a temporary card. And so what I get here is rest, inner silence, mental recovery, spaciousness, oversoul listening, and clarity through stillness. The 4 of breath invites you into mental stillness, not because nothing is happening, but because something deeper is trying to reach you. This is the moment when the mind exhales after conflict, confusion, or inner noise. The soul now asks for space to integrate what has been revealed. You're not disconnected, you are processing. You're not lost, you are listening. This card often appears after a period of mental strain or truth activation. It brings the medicine of pause, solitude, and gentle spaciousness. Y'all don't understand how much I love this song. In this silence, oversoul wisdom begins to rise, not as a shout, but as a hum beneath thought. The quiet mind is the space between stories where the next chapter begins forming wordlessly. And so the lesson here is stillness is not absence. It is where your oversoul speaks the loudest. And so this card is need to sit in stillness because your team is trying to communicate to you, but they can't get to you over the noise. All right. So that was everybody. I love y'all, but I'm about to deuce out. I've been on here for 2 hours. Sister girl gotta go. But I love y'all. I might be on here tomorrow. But I'll let y'all know on Patreon if I am. But we'll see. It just depends on how I'm feeling. All right. I think I sent out all the emails. So if you booked any services while you were on with me, I should have already sent you. You're welcome, Pegasus. I should have already sent you an email. But besides that, have an amazing rest of y'all night, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye. What the fuck is this?